In this video, we are going to be talking about the things that you need to know if you're looking to start a print-on-demand business this year. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Taylor. I am a full-time print-on-demand business owner. I've been selling print-on-demand products on Etsy for the last 2 years. And here on my channel, I talk about print-on-demand, passive income, and entrepreneurship. So if any of those things interest you, then be sure to boop the subscribe button down below. In the last year, I have seen quite a few larger creators start talking about print on demand, talking about it as a way to make money online, make passive income, and just have additional cash flow into your pockets every single month. And while I think that that is fantastic, I have a print on demand business. I love print on demand. The thing that I'm finding is that in these videos, they are often just a bit misleading and a little bit misinformative. So with that being said, I wanted to create this video just to outline everything that you need to know about print on demand, what it is, how it works, and just all of the things that I had to learn myself along the way, mistakes I've made, things that I just wasn't quite prepared for with this type of business model. I'm going to be covering all of that in today's video. Today's video is also sponsored by Skillshare, but more on that later. So what is print on demand? Print on demand is essentially just a fulfillment method for a business. So when you hear somebody saying that they have a print on demand business or they're starting a print on demand business, really what that means is they are starting a business and using a print on demand fulfillment method. When somebody is starting a print on demand business, they are starting a product-based business and using print on demand to fulfill those orders. Another way of thinking of this is there are also people who make their own products, such as a handmade business. If somebody is starting a business and they are making and creating their products with their own hands, making them themselves, they are still starting a business. They're just using a different fulfillment method in a sense. And of course, that is why there is a lot of appeal behind print on demand. It requires no inventory, so you don't have to hold on to large quantities of physical goods in your home. And the on-demand element essentially means that the products that you are selling and that customers are purchasing from you, from your business, they are not being made until that order is placed. So when you receive an order from a customer in your business, say for example, they order a t-shirt, that product is then actually produced, packaged, and shipped to that customer directly. So you are completely hands-free with a print-on-demand fulfillment method. Now you also may be wondering, is this a viable business option? Because there are a lot of people talking about print-on-demand, so it surely must be very saturated. And with that, I want to re-emphasize that print-on-demand is just the fulfillment method. You're starting a product-based business. And so depending on the specific types of products that you are selling, or maybe even the target audience that you are looking to sell those products to, that is going to be actually what determines the saturation of what you are looking to sell and whether or not you are going to see success in that area. Truly, the success and viability of a print-on-demand business is solely going to come from the product types and the audience that you are looking to serve with those product types. For an overview of how print-on-demand works is essentially you are going to start by choosing a print provider. And that is the company that is essentially going to manufacture and ship out the products that you are selling. Your role in this process is creating designs for those products. Your print company is providing you with a blank version of the product. You create the design that goes on to it. And then from there, you are going to sync those products from your print provider with your marketplace that you are looking to sell those products. For me, my platform of choice is Etsy, and it is the platform that I recommend any brand new print-on-demand seller get started on. The reason being is Etsy is already an established marketplace. And I like to think of Etsy almost like a shopping mall. When you have a mall, there is already organic traffic that comes to the mall because of the mall being the mall itself. And Etsy already has an organic traffic base that comes to Etsy because it's Etsy. Now, you as a seller on Etsy, you essentially are opening up your own location in the mall. But to break it down from there, once a customer purchases your product on Etsy, your print company is going to make that product for you, package it, and ship it directly to your customer. You will never physically touch the product. From there, your role in this process becomes customer service. If your customer has any questions regarding their order or any adjustments that they need to be made, maybe they need to change the address it's being shipped to, or they just have a general question, you are that customer service. You are that middleman between your print provider and the product that they purchased from you. While I do recommend Etsy as the platform for somebody who's brand new to print on demand to get started with, there are other marketplaces that you can sell print on demand products on, one being Amazon Seller Central. The reason that I don't quite recommend Amazon for a beginner is because it is a little bit more of an advanced platform to get acclimated to, and it's also a little bit of a higher cost, as Amazon Seller Central has a monthly subscription of $40 a month in order for you to even list and create print on demand products for their platform. One of the other options would be Shopify, which, if you're not familiar with Shopify, essentially that is a platform where you can create your very own website and use your own website to sell your products. With that, there is also a monthly cost associated. Similar to Amazon, it is $40 a month, or technically it's $39 a month, and Amazon's $39.99, but round it up. It's basically $40 a month for both of those platforms. And another key difference with Shopify is when you have your own website, you need to bring the traffic to it. It's a website that nobody knows exists until you tell them that it exists. And so that has a whole other realm of complexities that I don't necessarily recommend for a beginner. So with that being said, because I recommend Etsy, let's break down what the startup costs look like for a print-on-demand business on Etsy. To open and launch your Etsy shop, it is going to be a $15 one-time setup fee. There is no recurring subscription, anything like that that you need to have to launch your store. Just $15 one time. From there, you are also going to have listing fees. So this is anytime you create a brand new product that is going to be listed in your Etsy shop, you are going to pay 20 cents a listing. I generally recommend trying to get to about 100 listings. You don't have to have 100 listings. You can be successful with less, you can be successful with more, but just for a ballpark average of what the startup costs are going to look like, 100 listings, 20 cents a pop is going to be about $20. Next, you are going to want to invest in mockups. This is a non-negotiable. Mockups are key to the success of a print-on-demand business, in my personal opinion. What a mockup is it is essentially a blank image of the product that you're selling, and then you are going to place the design that you created for the product, the same design that you're putting with your print partner. You're gonna put that design onto that blank product to essentially show the customer what you're selling and what it looks like finished. Because you do not have physical inventory, you don't have anything to take a photo of. And that's where mockups give you the ability to create a visual for what that product is going to look like when your customer receives it. Mockups generally aren't too expensive. They typically range, I've seen, anywhere from about $1 to $5 for a single mockup image. Sometimes you can find mockup shops, specifically on Etsy. I love buying mockups directly on Etsy, and you can often buy like a whole shop bundle of mockup images and things like that. But I would definitely set aside about $20 to invest into your mockup images. You are also going to need some type of design software because you are creating designs for the products that you are selling. Depending on the design software, generally they range from about $15 to $30 a month for a more advanced design software. Generally, I recommend doing a free trial with a few different design platforms such as Canva or Kittl. Those are two very popular design softwares. I personally use both of them. You don't have to use more than one, but you can do a free trial with both of those and get an idea of which one you prefer and feels easier for you to use. A big component of actually seeing success with print on demand is understanding products that are actually in demand and that people are searching for and wanting to purchase. With that, you can invest in research tools. Research tools are definitely something that is optional. The reason I mention them though is because they were something that was extremely pivotal in the success of my business. I started mine without a research tool and that worked to some regard, but where I really started to see the most momentum and the most sales in my business is when I started creating products based off of the information that I was finding by using research tools. So With a research tool, it is going to vary in price, just like a design software, but the range that I find with most research tools is at the lowest going to be about $5 a month, all the way up to about $30 a month. I use eRank and Everbee. For eRank, I use their bare minimum basic plan, which is I think $5.99 a month, so basically $6 a month. And then for Everbee, I use their growth plan, which is $30 a month. For Everbee, I do have a discount in the description that you can actually get 50% off your first 2 months. So if it's something that you try it out for free, you enjoy it, definitely grab that link if you're looking to then invest, get a little bit of money off if that's something that you are wanting to use in your business. Lastly, you could choose to invest in Etsy ads. Etsy does give you the ability to run ads on your listings. This is something that I generally don't recommend putting a lot of money into as a brand new Etsy seller or even just brand new print-on-demand business owner. And so for this, in the very beginning, I would recommend if you're going to use Etsy ads, I would stick to a very small budget, something like $1 per day, which would equate to about $30 a month. So all in all, to get started, you're looking at about $85 all the way up to $115, depending on the design software, research tools, and if you choose to run Etsy ads or not. Now, one of the things that I find to be the most misleading in other videos that are being made about print on demand is how payment works when you actually make a sale, how you pay for the product, how you get paid. All of that is where I find there to be a lot of misinformation. So let's break it down. When a customer purchases your product on Etsy, you are going to first pay your print provider so that the product can be sent to production. So yes, this does mean that you are going to front the money for that product in order for it to start to be made. And this is typically prior to you collecting the money or revenue from that sale. With Etsy specifically, you do have the ability to choose how often you get paid. You can get paid daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however you want to set it up for yourself. However, it's important to know that most of the time there is a little bit of a delay still, especially as a brand new Etsy shop. Something that can happen is your account can be put on what's called a payment reserve. This is done to protect you and to protect your customers. And essentially, Etsy is going to hold a percentage of your revenue until your order is sent out with a proper tracking number. So you are going to receive some of the revenue, but not all of the revenue until that product ships, which means there might be a little bit of a gap in where you are paying for the product and you are then receiving those funds. If your account gets put on this payment reserve, it is very normal and it's not anything that you did wrong. Again, it is just something that Etsy has in place to protect both you and your customers. This is where it can be incredibly important to be financially prepared to start this business model. Of course, I want to emphasize that this is a business. There are many videos that kind of glamorize print on demand in the sense of that it is very passive and very easy and low startup costs. And all of these can be true in their own ways, but there's a lot of pieces that make these possible and steps that have to be in place in order for them to become these things. And so in the best case scenario, you begin making tons of sales in your print on demand business. What that means is you are then also going to have to pay the production costs for all of those products that need to be made prior to often receiving those funds from Etsy. Which means you either need the cash in your bank to pay for those production costs, or you need to have an option in place such as a business credit card to pay for the production prior to receiving your payment from Etsy. While of course this is not financial advice, I am not a financial expert or anything like that. I can speak on my own experience from being a business owner for the last 2 years, and I highly recommend for somebody pursuing this business model to have a business credit card. For one, it just makes it easier so that you don't have to use your own cash to front the money for those products. And then when you do receive the payment from Etsy for your revenue collected for those sales, then you can just immediately pay off the business card. The other thing to consider is having a separate checking and savings account specifically for business transactions. Treating the business like a business is one of the things that I wish I would have done from the beginning of mine. When I first started my print-on-demand business, I was just using my personal bank account. My debit card was basically paying for my orders. However, where it got messy is all of my transactions were intermingled with my personal transactions. And as my business began to grow, it made it very complicated for taxes, and I had to hire a bookkeeper and get all of that sorted out, which costs money, and the more messier it is, it costs more money. So learn from my mistakes, treat it like a business, different bank accounts, business credit card, and consider the financial prep that needs to be in place for this business model. As I mentioned earlier in this video, you are going to partner with a print provider, and I wanted to share in this video, for those who are looking to get started with this business model, my go-to print provider, which is Printify. Now, Printify, the reason that I recommend them for brand new print-on-demand sellers is because they are by far the most affordable print-on-demand platform and also have the largest catalog of products available. So depending on the type of print-on-demand business, the products that you're looking to offer, that is going to honestly be the best choice in print provider, because you have unlimited, not unlimited, but you have a lot of options at your fingertips. And when it comes to those options, they are also priced in the most affordable way. I have used tons of different print providers in my journey, trying different things, trying to find the most affordable, where I can have the highest profit margins, and Printify has always won that battle by a landslide. And so for that reason, if you're looking to start a business, a product-based business using a print-on-demand fulfillment method, I highly recommend checking out Printify for that reason. I also want to share with you the link that I have for you to get started with Printify. This will actually give you 30 days free of Printify Premium, which Printify Premium is going to give you an additional discount up to 20% off on products within their catalog, so you can have even higher profit margins when you are starting your print-on-demand business. All right, so we've talked about print-on-demand, we've talked about what it is, how it works, where to sell those products, the startup costs, the financial prep, your print providers. All of that is the foundation in getting your print-on-demand business started. However, it is a business. There are many layers to it, like an onion. And so with that, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across things like film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and honestly, so much more. Because there are so many aspects to starting a print-on-demand business and also growing and sustaining a print-on-demand business, you will have to learn to wear many hats in this business model, which is why I recommend checking out Skillshare. I have to say that I classify myself as a self-improvement junkie to some regard, where I just always am looking to learn new things, develop my skills, learn new skills, sharpen existing skills, all of the things. I'm always looking to be 1% better. And if you're here watching this video, I have a feeling that you might be similar. The classes that I have particularly enjoyed on Skillshare are ones surrounding design and business. I have learned so much through the different classes that I've taken. These two classes right here are actually the two most recent that I finished up, and they by far exceeded my expectations. Definitely check them out. I also in the past have taken productivity and just time management and organization, a skill set that I think I always can work on, and I think many people can relate to as well. Definitely check out Skillshare. I will have a link in the description that the first 500 individuals to grab that link are going to receive a free 1-month trial to Skillshare to get started today. And also thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this portion of the video. Let me know in the comments what additional questions that you have about print on demand. And if you're looking to get started with a print on demand business, I am also going to link my free mini course, POD Kickstart. It recently just got a whole revamp and overhaul. So there's tons of really good, juicy information in there, pro tips, advanced strategies, everything that you need to not only get started, but also succeed with a print-on-demand business model. I'll have the link to that in the description box as well. If you've already taken it, go back through. There's some more things that have been added into it. It is jam-packed, so definitely check that out. I hope that you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.